Well, hello. I want to talk to you a little bit about APA references, especially with respect to doing a web page. When you reference or cite a web page, there's a couple rules that you need to remember. The first is always go to the home page, because the web page is like a page in a book, and the cover of the book is like the home page of the website. So let's take a look at this top line here. Here is a reference that was submitted by a student, and it's incorrect. It is not in APA style. Why? Because in APA style, we should have the author, the date, title of the article or of the book that it's in, and then the source. And this student has the source, but there's one mistake with it. Because web pages can change overnight, we really want to have the date. So down here, the date, retrieved 29 December from. So this is the same, but we want to know the date that the student got it. Now, the title. Here I've got the correct reference. I've got the name. I have a mistake there. I have the name of the author. I have the date. I have the title of the book from which this page, which was called Greenhouse Effect, came. So I'm going to show you these pages, and then I have the citation, which is what we put in the text. We can put it Nave, 2013 in parentheses, maybe after the sentence where we're talking about the greenhouse effect according to Dr. Nave. Or we might say something like, according to Nave, 2013, the greenhouse effect is caused by gas from cows, in part. So here we're citing in the text. A citation is not a reference. They are two totally different things. But the problem is people tend to use these words interchangeably. They say, well, if you cite something. No, you reference something with a complete reference. You cite it with the short form, which tells us where to find the complete reference in the list of citations or the list of references at the end of a paper. Okay, now let's take a look at these websites, these web pages. Okay. Now, this is the website. I'm going to show you how I found it. First of all, we're going to go back to this. Now, if we take this hyperlink, which it's not a hyperlink, this is a universal resource locator. It's the URL. We copy it and we paste it into there. We come to that page in the book that universal resource link brings us to. Universal resource locator, I'm sorry. And we look at this page and we say, gee, isn't that nice? And the author is R. Nave. Okay. We also have hyperlinks to other sources. That's a good thing. It indicates that this might be a quality site. And as we scroll down, we find other pages and the same author. But we don't find a date. There's no date here. So how do we find the date? Well, we're going to go to Hyperphysics homepage. And to do that, you see this here? To do that, and by the way, you might think the title is Greenhouse Effect. That's the title of this page, not of the book that we're referencing. But a lot of people would use Greenhouse Effect as the title because it seems logical, even though it's incorrect. Now, if we take this and get rid of the pages, Let's stop at HBase because that's going to get us to the home page, I think. Oops, that's going to get us to the index. Okay, so we want to go to hyperphysics. There we go. Now we're at the book. This is the home page of the book that the greenhouse effect page was in. Hyperphysics, there's the title. There's the date, 2013, copyrighted by C.R. Nave at Georgia State University. A little bit more information. And there's a lot of references and a lot of other information on this home page. Details about the page, why they developed it for students, and so forth. So we can see that it's a quality site. But here's the title, Hyperphysics. There's the year. So let's go back to our document. Okay, so we've put the year in, 2013. Hyperphysics is the title. I'm going to get rid of this spelling thing. It bothers me just to have that underlined. Ignore. Okay. And we retrieved it today from this website. And this website shows us the page that we are actually referencing and citing in our text. To do the citation again, Nave, 2013, or according to Nave. So there's a difference between the references and the citations, okay? So let's go back one more time to this web page. There it is. So we had to go back through the URL to find this web page. And I misspelled it, hyperphysics. So let me go back. That's how he spelled it. So now we have a proper reference. But remember, when we went to the original URL that the student used, the actual universal resource locator, you see, it shows the page. /greenhouse. That's the page. And it's pretty easy to see that it's a nice site and it looks legit. We've got an author, but no date. So the directions would say if you never find a date, you have to say no date, the way the student did it. The student followed the directions. The student just violated one rule, which is to look at that URL and get back to the home page. So you can see it's difficult sometimes to find the proper information to do a reference properly in APA style for a website or a web page that's a part of a website. Go to the home page. If it is a one-page website, you'll figure that out. And if it is, and there's no date and no author, then I wouldn't cite it. I would not use it as a reference. It could be a kindergarten or a junior high school paper submitted to a teacher. It would not be something you should have confidence in referencing. You need to learn how to find quality sites from legitimate people that can be considered authorities in the subject area. So you need to look at who that author is and where they're from before you decide whether to reference a paper. So do it well, do it right, do the best you can, and I'll help you along the way. And I hope that when the term is over, everybody will have an A. That's my goal, and I hope it's your goal too. Thanks.